to the Agenda Setters. I'm here today with Jenny Morawska, CEO of the Morawska Group, and a woman who's in the midst of an incredible career. She's a former CEO of a biotech company, a senior banking executive, a Big Four consulting executive director, and formerly one of the most senior women working in government as well. So thank you for being with us today.
It's lovely to be with you, Angela.
You've just chaired an incredible session as well on power, where I think you had hundreds of women in the room basically talk about and come up with one sentence as to how that actually define when they're at their most powerful. And I think we had quite a few interesting things come up. It seemed to be about confidence, about authenticity, about empowering others, about getting the most out of people, and really a variety of different ideas that emerged from that. I wanted to ask you then, so when do you feel that you're most powerful?
Oh gosh, that's an interesting question. I think I feel at my most powerful when I own my power and when I stop worrying about my power. So I think for me, being powerful is deciding on what form your power takes and acknowledging that there are so many different forms of power and that you don't have to fit into a particular slot. And so when I sit in that space, then I feel at my most powerful.
And do you feel that the knowing the correct use of power, has that helped you during your career? Is it something that you had to learn yourself?
Oh yeah. I wish I knew what I know now when I started my career. I think my career has been a journey of taking wrong turns, coming back cul-de-sacs, going in directions that were great, making lots of mistakes and learning, and it's only now that I'm really exploring the right use of power and understanding power.
Okay. So, I mean, all that time crossing from so many different industries and so many different roles, what is it about now that means that you're finally able to understand the correct use of power?
I think it got to a point where I started to question why I was doing all the things I was doing, and I started to say, well, who am I and where do I best value add and what do I want to do? Whereas in the past, whenever I was passionate about a role, I would move in that direction, and when I started to feel that I wasn't madly excited and achieving things, something else would appear. And this time I actually took some time out to say, well, what do I really want to do? And out of that came the need for really understanding power deeply.
Okay, sure. Well, I mean, just looking again at your very diverse career, would you say it's a career that you've planned for?
Not at all. No. I started off life as a molecular geneticist, and I was in such a sort of highly technical role. And I started working for CSIRO and discovered I was good at management, went on to do an MBA in corporate finance and discovered that I loved the banking world. And then slowly, as I moved into different jobs, I became the deputy of the Federal Industry and Science Department and of the Finance Department. Then I became a banker. And I think each time, as I felt that I was looking for a broader field or somewhere I could make a difference, another opportunity opened up, and I'd follow that.
Okay. Well, is there anything that you can pinpoint as to how those opportunities actually open for you?
Yeah, I think for everybody the opportunities are there.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're passionately engaged in what you do, you probably don't see them. And I think if you get to a point where you feel that it's time to do something different and you scan, there are so many opportunities, and that's the point at which I think I have always found the next step. So I've not really actively said, I'm going to go from A to B to C. It's really been, I think, discriminating judgment at the right time would be the way I'd put it.
Discriminating judgment at the right time, okay. And if you had to pinpoint, and I'm sure there have been many challenges, but if you were to pinpoint one particular challenge that you faced during your career so far and how you've overcome it, what would that be?
Yeah, look, there's probably two. I became a single parent when my children were 2 and 5, and at that stage I was the executive director of Price Waterhouse. And I found juggling 2 children on my own and having a very high profile job at a time when there wasn't a lot of childcare and not a lot of support in a very male environment. I found that really challenging. And the nice thing is now that my children actually say, you did the best you could, Mum, and we're okay. So that's really validating. I think the second challenge for me was to actually own my power. So when I was in very senior roles, there was a part of me that knew that I had positional power, but didn't always feel that I sat in it. And it's only now that I look back and I understand that if you can integrate your personal power and your positional power, that you can really make a difference.
Do you wish you'd known that?
Oh, I wish I'd known that a long time ago.
Yeah. Is it something that can actually be taught?
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm so passionate about the right use of power, because if I knew it 20 years ago, life could have been even easier. And I think for women today and men, if I can help people to start to understand how to use their power appropriately, how to find out what their power style is, and to actually own it, then hopefully that will make a huge difference.
Okay, all right, great. Well, thank you for joining us today, Jen. Thank you.